Welcome back, everyone, to 2017 blade&soul World Championships. We're on day 3, and we finally got through the first match. We'll be deciding during this process to see who's going to make it up to the quarterfinal. We're going to have 2 teams out of the 4 that are playing today, but Guardian from North America have just earned their first win, a very clean 4-0 sweep against the Taiwanese team. Thank you, 9527. So we're going to go on to the second match to see the rest of the 2 teams that are going to be eligible to the final 2 spots for the quarterfinals.
Yeah, so like Joel said, we have IDEPS from Korea, Bad Intentions from EU, duking it out. These 2 teams have had their ups and downs, but I just want to mention that IDEPS actually knocked out Hurricane at the end. Like, they're not the only team that beat or knocked down Hurricane. It's just that at the end, the most important match where either Hurricane will make it up or IDEPS will make it up, IDEPS was the victor and is now here. And if IDEPS by any chance beats Bad Intentions and knocks down another Western team, that would be 2 in a row by 1 team.
And IDEPS will be the Western killer from the Korean side. Definitely, we haven't seen GC Busan Blue showing that much mercy towards the Western side as IDEPS did. But IDEPS are really looking to just advance to further rounds because they, by themselves, think they deserve the very much the later rounds of World 2017, depending on really how they did coming up from the 2017. So first round, we want to talk about IDEPS a little bit before we do move on, though, is that the early parts of 2017, they have been disappointing for the fact that they always had that same innate talent within those 3 players we know, but the condition control and the form management, the way they really handle themselves in preparation for the matches haven't been very successful. So not much success has been found within the IDEPS side throughout the early parts of 2017, but by the end of 2017, most notably going to the Korea finals and going to the wildcards as well, they've seen a lot more success, and now they're here over coup d'etat in this World Championship. Had to knock out Shingen Kim for not being in Worlds for the first time ever. So here they are, IDEPS.
On the screen we have IDEPS, and they are probably one of the teams from Korea that has the most noticeable ups and downs. And I just want to say, regardless of you losing when you're on your bad day, it doesn't matter, because that is also your ability as a team and as a player to have your good day all the time. Because just because you lose and you say, oh, I was on a bad day, that is not an excuse. A loss is a loss, a win is a win. So regardless of the outcome, IDEPS is going to try their hardest. Same thing goes for Bad Intentions, but right now we have IDEPS on screen, and Jung Ho-yoon, like we talked about yesterday, he has that Warlock. And he was actually beaten by the Russian Warlock yesterday. And we were kind of joking around saying, maybe Jung Ho-yoon would pull out the Warlock sometime, but unlikely.
I mean, IDEPS is one of those Korean teams that really is just a one-class team with Duggan Kang. He has 3 class registered, but he was originally just a KFM before he was forced to play the Blade Dancer by his teammates. And even that Warlock as a utility tool if that situation was needed. But as you mentioned, the Force Master Jung Ho-yoon, he has been staple on that pick ever since the beginning. And same with Sang Kim. He's one of the few players that only has 1 class register, and that is the assassin for him. He doesn't play anything else, and we are up against this team now. That intention has been impressive, especially in the later rounds of the World 2017 so far. And the first few matches we saw Bad Intentions, maybe they thought they could have had the jitters coming into this World 2017 in a new environment. Could have been nervous because they didn't play the same way. But by the end of day 1, when they popped off, especially with Tenna just putting that explosive damage near the end, doing that again in end of day 2 really was a surprise for us that they can really bring that same performance they showed in the European qualifiers, bring it over to World Championship 2017. So they did that. So now it's their next match is against a much stronger side with IDEPS. As long as they are on a good day, like your preconditions really mentioned ending, it's all about them being ready to face IDEPS on any day.
Yeah, and Bad Intentions, they also had their ups and downs, and for the first match, we will have Jung Ho-yoon on the Force Master, and we have Tenna on the Warlock.
It's going to get very spicy. First, the very first match between IDEPS and Bad Intentions, these guys are the most dependent player on each of their respective teams. to do the most heavy lifting for their team. And Jung Yoon on the Force Master has barely ever disappointed with his performance on that, even in the singles and also the tag as well.
Yep.
Tenna, you guys know it all. If you've been watching the European qualifier, he's the one that literally just pulled his teammates right over to the World Championships. And now his other teammates are doing much, much better. But this guy is going to be the dependent force on the side of bad intentions.
Don't forget about Luki's play yesterday.
Yesterday was insane.
He was the carry yesterday, even though Tenna did knock out the Warlock the first 50 seconds. But, you know, everybody in all these IDEPS and bad intentions, all 6 players are trying to pull their weight.
But we're going to go on to game 1. Which team leader for the side of IDEPS and bad intentions is going to get the first win? Let's get to the game. Stay on. Here we go, game 1 between IDEPS from Korea versus bad intentions from Europe. Now, Jung Yoon on the Force Master, he has had very successful matchups depending on the different class of his opponents, but
ooh, he is starting with that impact.
And the Meteor is going to be blocked a little bit by the paper. Trying to go for the counterattack, Tenna. Gets a little bit of damage done. Takes barely any damage from that Meteor altogether.
Yep. He literally took no damage. And Jung Yoon, on the other hand, actually took the damage when he was the one attacking. And he is in the air now.
Aerial into the shackle. There's no way for him to escape. He does retreat out of there.
Okay.
Tries to go back, but Tenna's very smart to not attack him in that state.
And Thrall seems mad. He keeps throwing at him.
Doesn't care about healing back his opponent. He just wants to go at his opponent all the time. That's Thrall right there.
Yeah, with the time distortion proc. Now Jung Yoon is probably thinking in his head, now it's time to make his move because time distortion is out and the familiar is gone. There we go with the Phantom Grip.
Okay, so he was in the shackles, but
Leech.
Jung Yoon did tap escape out of there. So this chance for Tenna to go for a very aggressive play.
With the knock up.
It might be Tenna getting the damage on his opposite, and he does retreat.
But the Tether Blade lands.
Tether Blade does land, and might be a chance for Jung Yoon, but he does use the Frost Burst.
All right, he is buying some time. They're both gonna get their escape back very soon.
There we go, and put some paper still in front of him. Familiar, pretty good job for Tenna. Now just needs to get him in the air. They both do have their second wins back, so.
Oh, Tenna's making his offensive move right now.
Wow.
Jung Yoon is actually taking a lot of damage.
Okay,
but
the wallbang. It might be beginning here. Tenna has to get out of there somehow.
Pulls him out.
Oh, he used a second win. Would this be enough to finish him off? The Meteor is enough damage to finish him off. And Jung Yoon getting the game 1 victory over the almighty Tenna. It's going to be a 1-0 victory currently for IDEPS. So,
yeah,
in this best of 4, very, very important win right there.
Yeah, when you show, especially a player like Jung-ho, who is very calculative and remembers to the second when you use your escapes and when you use your void walk, you know, if you give him the slightest chance, he's not going to let that go, and he's going to capitalize on it.
It just seemed like Tenna really knew what he was doing for the early parts of the game, but all that damage came through near the end. And like you said, Jung Yoon, he knew when to go for it all, and the lack of escapes and the lack of the body swaps with that familiar, he knew that wasn't an option for Tenna, and Jung Yoon went in all in to go for all the damage that he needed to finish him off.
Yeah, like Joel said, to the mid game, to the mid late game, they were going back and forth, trading escapes, trading damage, but actually Tenna was doing most of the damage until the late game where, you know, Jung Yoon just waited for that time when both the escapes from Tenna was out, and he capitalized on it and was able to finish him off.
This
and
is the matchup I want to see. Ryuki versus Sang-won Kim on those assassins. They only play those classes, and Assassin is their life and death for these guys. Sang-won Kim, we always know what the storyline is behind this guy. Is he on a good day or a bad day? We'll be finding out in game 2, but Ryuki, he has been consistent so far, with Luki and Tenna having their on and offs from here and there, but Ryuki has probably been the most consistent performer for the side of bad intentions in this World Championship. So, can he pull this off once again? And will his consistency be enough to beat out Sang-won Kim, depending on what day it is for him?
Yep, the EU Assassin versus the Korean Assassin, and they are both we've noticed and we've seen that they're both very formidable assassins, and the music has changed. Ready for the assassin mirror match. Let's get it on.
We go for game 2, a match that we anticipated since the beginning of World 2017. We do get a Korean assassin versus a European assassin. See what the difference is. Here we go. Sound Kim takes the first strike though. Actually gonna be.
They're trading off their stuff.
It was looking like Sound Kim got onto the stun. It was actually Yuki using that first escape early.
But Sound Kim is playing on the offensive right now. The back row chase actually lands.
Wow, really.
Wow.
Other than taking off the stun, taking off the escape away from Sound Kim, Yuki has really done no damage over to his opponent.
So in the beginning, like the first moves they were making, they did trade off the stealth, and that was good. But after that, it is backfiring on Rookie. Yuki right now.
Puts him onto the webbing. What he's going to do with this, we're going to find out. Puts him onto the stun. Still saves that tab escape.
There we go.
Use the loaded escape to get out of there. So another tab escape is still available for Sound Kim. That's stealth. Still being of availability.
Yep, now Rookie has both escapes. Even though he is a little low on health, he has that. He has Sangwook on the aerial.
Okay, well,
there we go.
Countdown, and that's gonna be enough damage, almost to finish him off. Yusuf has to use every escape to get out of there. Sound Kim suddenly in a lot of danger without that escape. Like you say, Ryuki has all the escapes in the world. That will be enough to close shave and the bombard to finish him off. And there we go. Bad Intentions picking up another win against the Korean side. It's back to 1-1.
Yeah, it is 1-1. They are tying it up, and Ryuki seems very happy.
Definitely.
And that was a great match, going back and forth. Early on, trading off that stealth, and then Sangwook Kim having the advantage, putting around 60 to 70 damage on Ryuki first.
Yeah, definitely.
And it seemed like Ryuki was in the pinch, but he was able to come back and just finish off Sangwook Kim.
Ryuki,
look at this,
staying strong until the end. He literally did no damage while taking that 70% damage, as you mentioned. Anything, but in the end, so much crucial strike.
Yeah,
good enough to finish him off.
This was definitely pride on the line as well.
Definitely,
as the single one-trick assassin players, both from Europe and Korea. And now we will be moving on to our last match, because it is 1-1, and this tag match will conclude the winner and decide the loser of this matchup.
And currently it's 1v1 at the scoreline, but IDEPS and Bad Intentions really need those 3 points to finish out the series, and these 2 points for either team will be good enough to end out the series without that game 4 being necessary. Gonna have 3 sides very familiar with their classes. They're not going to change it up, and Kang, Jung Yoon, Sangwook Kim, very familiar with those Blade Dancer that has been introduced for Doug and Kang recently. But other than that, it's been that same class since the beginning of their careers. Same for Bad Intentions as well. Much shorter career for these guys, having to start the blade&soul competitively much later than the Koreans have. They will be good enough to win out the game 3. You're gonna have to find out.
Yeah, it is amazing. Like you just mentioned, Koreans has started blade&soul way earlier than any other region, and we have Bad Intention for the first time in Worlds, and they are all the way up here competing against the top regions, not only Korea but China and Japan, who has also started a little bit earlier than the Western teams, and they are up here still competing strong and hard.
And Bad Intentions had to beat so many talented teams to get to this stage, from teams from China and to teams from many other talented regions they had to beat to get all the way up here. So once again, they're trying to do it against the strongest region of Korea, and with IDEPS being their opponent, they're going to look to get a win. And to get a win in this series, we're going to see if they can do that. Let's get it on. I keep thinking about this ending, but it's the thing about when we hear the phrase Korea dominating an esports title, depending on no matter what it is, it has taken a few years for Korea to get used to something after the introduction, where the Western teams have gotten it earlier. So Korea is getting used to it only after a few years later, though. The thing about these European teams and the NA teams equally, it's their first year of introduction compared to about 4 or 5 years that Koreans had it right before them. So very much of an accomplishment already for these teams to make it this far, to go toe-to-toe with a team like IDEPS.
Yeah, and this just shows how good they are at the game. Even, like you just said, they are introduced to the game a little bit later. Well, not a little bit, a lot later.
Way later, yeah.
A lot later, and they are still competing, and that just shows the skill level of EU and how scarier they will be next year.
Oh, do I feel something? Sang-Kim, is he on his bad day? He's already having to use a stealth from the threat coming in from Tena, but...
Don't say Sang-Kim's on the bad day. Tena's on his good day.
I don't know. Sang-Kim.
Sang-Kim is on his normal day and Tena's on his super good day. We could say it like that.
I really want to see Sang-Kim be consistent in every competition that he is involved in, but just hasn't seemed to be that case, to be honest. So it's all about Sang-Kim, whether he can step it up. He's trying to put in the damage onto Tena now.
Sanctum is put down. He just ice mines him. Probably gonna wait out until the Sanctum is gone. Yep, he's just waiting it out. There we go. Tena still has his escape, so it's okay for now.
It's pretty even on both sides. Both sides can go pretty evenly, but just to put the paper up instead of going for that tab escape there.
And if you notice, there was no interference coming in at all, and there's 1 second left until the force tag.
Very close distance. Oh, he's gonna go for the chase here. What?
Okay.
Tag?
Ryuki comes in and tags out right away to Luki. I don't know.
Any reason for that, you think?
They may have fat-fingered it, but maybe this was a strategy that they wanted to go for.
If it was a mistake by any chance, this would have been a huge mistake, because wasting one tag point of the 2 that you have for each player is very much of a valuable property that you're really throwing away.
Yeah, that tag point is very crucial.
I mean, it was a free tag, and we all knew it was coming, but as soon as he came in, Ryuki came in with using the tag point to bring Luki in.
Yeah, it is a strategy to confuse IDEPS. I mean, but truly it was fat-fingered.
We're kind of assuming that was the case.
Because there was no reason for him to tag in and tag out. Like, but you know, there we go. Tena making his move against Jung Eun. He wants to get that revenge.
Jung Eun take a little bit of damage from Sang-Kim's interfere there. Frost Burst. He's using second wind to get out of there. Very uncommon to see second wind being used. It's a Frost Burst.
All right, Jung Eun negating that leech.
Okay, Tena.
Buying some time. Tena actually is very, well, not very low, but around 45% health. And, you know, one bad combo or offensive interfere, it might force him to use another tag.
Duggan Kang seeing the dangers coming from that Warlock, has to go in with that defensive interfere. There's first interfere of the game.
Yep, and Sang-Kim is out again, doing some damage to Tena once again.
Oh, but this is, I don't know, if that mistake alone in the early game can affect this entire game, Bad Intentions will be hitting themselves on the head, because it's not the way you want to go out on this one.
Yeah.
And this is the last match will decide the series.
Yeah, but it seems like they are both IDEPS and Bad Intentions are managing their interfere and tag points very well right now. Even considering Ryuki using that, you know, tag point very fast, that split moment. I don't know why he used it once again, but you know, even considering that waste, look at all the points on the board still.
Still very even. Just that one extra tag point is available towards Sang-Kim and Duggan Kang compared to his other 2 counterparts. And it's just all about Sang-Kim now on the field.
Yeah.
I mean, he did pretty well for what he was supposed to do, but it's all about Luki coming in. After that, force tag coming in from Ryuki, and Ryuki didn't even do much before he tagged out once again using the tag point to bring Tena back on, but
yeah. Ryuki has come back out after that short showing with that super fast tag. Now on the field, 1 minute left until the force tag, and I'm pretty sure Ryuki wants to endure until that force tag happens, because he has 1 tag left, and he basically let go of one of the 2 tag points that he had So he's going to try to buy time and try to probably chase the force tag that's going to happen in 2
Use
seconds.
the Lotus of Flower before he does get force tagged out. He doesn't use it. Okay, doesn't get chased though whatsoever.
Duggan Kang actually comes in and goes offensive. Defensive interfere comes in from bad intentions.
Master putting in the damage from the interfere. Forcing out the Jungle Yoon. Interfere to freeze his teammate from any danger. Goes for it again. Duggan Kang, now he's going to gain multiple aerial.
Yep.
Oh, but Tenna is going to go for the damage now. Duggan Kang taking a little bit of that.
Yeah, and Duggan Kang heals up a little bit. Tenna is back, and Ryuki is going to be able to wait for that force tag and save his one last tag point.
Very good point, and that tab escape won't be of any waste if you can save yourself that last tag point, which he does, and Tenna comes back onto the field. But I mean, like you said, considering the mistake, they're going pretty even, which is good for bad intentions. But whether that will have an actual effect in the final result, it really cost them.
You gotta remember that overall we have the Force Master and the blade&soul more heals compared to bad intentions. So if this does go down to the TKO and the health bars stay pretty similar, the win will go to bad intentions.
Definitely, we can predict that. But as we speak about that, we're gonna go right onto the latter parts of this match, and we're down to the 3-minute and 30-second mark. Tenna has to be a little more careful. He does tag out just in case that happens, but the interfere coming in right away as soon as Ryuki is tagged in. Luki comes in for an interfere, trying to poke some damage on Soundkin, but just goes casually on the stealth and really does force no pressure. Tenna is going to go for it. This is exactly what they're looking for, especially with Ryuki and Tenna on that double combo into the offensive effort. What they're looking for, but Ryuki taking the damage from Soundkin now. Bombard, spamming all over.
Yep, and Ryuki tags out.
Good chase right away from Soundkin. As soon as Luki comes in, just in the bombard, Soundkin now is just trying to go on.
Offensive interferer has come in, and the reaction is 2v2.
This is the dangerous situation. You don't want to be there.
Luki is almost out. He still does have his escape.
You should just really tag out. I don't think the tab escape will be enough in case Soundkin goes for that offensive interfere combo with Jongyun once again. They can deal out so much damage in an instant, and that tab escape won't save you.
Yeah, but you know he's the only one with tag, and everybody has very low health.
Lightning draw coming from Duggan Kang now. Now this might be the signal for Luki. Very low on health. Now
they're all very low on health. So if Luki tags out, you know, one of the two of his teammates may die also. So he's gonna want to last as long as possible and wait for his teammates' help.
And remember, Luki was that hero for bad intentions in the last game of day 2, which
comes in,
literally saved his team from victory. But 2v2, reactionary coming in, significant damage. Soundkin taking a lot of damage from Tenna, all for that interfere. So not the interfere that he was looking for. Tenna just backfires at him. So much damage.
All the interfere points are even, but everybody on IDEPS has a tag point.
Okay, now Jongyun taking a little bit of damage from Duggan Kang also. As soon as he comes from the interfere, he was trying to help out Jongyun, but takes the damage with him. So Tenna just doing explosive amount of damage. Like you said, 1 minute 30 seconds to go. If it does go to damage chart, we can predict that bad intentions will win out this one.
Yeah, Soundkin comes in and interferes.
Oh, dangerous situation. No tag point for Tenna, so he has to be careful. He's the constant damage dealer that really is needed for the side of bad. He cannot go out as the first man out.
Yep, Duggan Kang is out. He is comfortably out there with, you know, around 70% health and a tag point, whereas Tenna does not.
See, Jongyun has that one tag point available, which one more will be granted to everyone in this 1 minute mark. But they're just looking for one opportunity, especially with Jongyun's damage potential. They're going to go for Tenna to finish him off in one effort.
Yeah, Duggan Kang is actually just buying time for that Sanctum to go away and that Thrall at the same time. 40 seconds left. They're going to try to go for that double or the triple kill.
Definitely, and this is what they're exactly going for. They're trying to get use Duggan Kang to get him into the air. That will give free damage potential over to Jongyun from that interfere.
He's definitely waiting for that force tag.
We're definitely seeing that, and we've seen that so many times throughout yesterday's matches from IDEPS.
There we go with the chase.
It's exactly what we were looking for, and Blade Master is going to really interrupt that play from coming through. It's going to be the last interfere coming in from Luki. So Other than Tenna,
10 seconds
they
left.
have no defensive efforts to go for. I don't know what really they're waiting for here. Now they should go for the all-aggressive play. Jungwoo freezes himself, but other than that, this might be a win for Badminton just because of the damage chart.
We'll never know, and it does go down to the TKO, and this is very surprising.
I don't know if IDEPS made the correct choice to not go on the aggression there. We'll see.
Drum roll.
Oh, it's gotta be IDEPS!
IDEPS.
10,000 difference.
Yeah.
Exact.
Yeah, that is very small. We've seen lowest to 25 to 30,000 difference, and 10,000 is probably the least damage difference ever.
I mean, can you humanly calculate that much damage to know that you don't have to go aggressive for the last 5 seconds? This is exactly what IDEPS did.
Yeah.
If they knew that they needed more damage to win out the damage shot, they would have made all aggressive. They had all the interfere points in the world.
Yeah,
but
they had
kept
all the
still.
tag points, they had all the interfere points, but they played it safe because I was thinking the same thing as you to go aggressive and, you know, secure the win. But, you know, IDEPS having that experience, I don't know, we're not them, so we don't know what was going through their head, but it just seems like they knew that they had the little advantage, and, you know, as long as they didn't take too much damage while they were waiting for the clock to count down, they were able to calculate it to see that they were the victors of this TKO.
500 IQ is every member of IDEPS, and that's the only way you can calculate that minuscule damage.
Usually it's Jungwoo Yoon who does the calculation and who does gives the order of, you know, when the escapes come back through comms, and this is, you know, it has been like this ever since last year.
So in the end, Jungwoo Yoon is God.
Yeah, that's why if you've been following blade&soul since last year, there's some Korean Jungwoo Yoon fans that bring, you know, the AlphaGo, there was this thing with AlphaGo. They would bring a picture of AlphaGo and put Jungwoo Yoon's face on it.
Alpha Yoon right there.
Yeah, Alpha Yoon. So that's how much calculative to the second he was, and he still is.
Wow.
And that just gave them the victory with only 10,000 damage difference.
I've been impressed by Jungwoo Yoon in many instances throughout my career as a caster for blade&soul, but this might be topping it all. So much calculation, but we're going to go to a short break. We'll be back in Game 3.